Hello friends, once again, welcome back to most commonly repeated one-liners in ENT. Today we will covering the part 5, myself Dr. Narendra Singh Chauhan. So going with the first question, it says the site of Darwin tubercle. Darwin tubercle इसकी साइट क्या है? What is the site of Darwin tubercle? It is the posterolateral part of the helix. So, Darwin tubercle is a congenital ear condition which presents as a thickening of the helix at upper one third and the middle third. So if we say this is the helix, so Darwin tubercle will be present as a thickening at the upper one third and the middle one third of the helix. This is the Darwin tubercle. For more information, you can go through my image based question on Darwin tubercle. Second question says oval window open into the vestibule. Towards the oval window opens into vestibule. Third question says lateral wall of attic is known as scutum. So we'll talk about the scutum. Scutum is a Latin word which is defined for shield. Scutum defined the shield. So, scutum is a hard, that is sharp, bony spur. It's a sharp, bony spur. It is a bony spur which is formed by the superior wall of external auditory canal. Superior wall of external auditory canal and the lateral wall of tympanic cavity. So, what is the boundaries of scutum? Scutum is formed by superior wall of external auditory canal and lateral wall of tympanic cavity. This we have to keep in mind. The second question, which is most commonly asked, that is associated with scutum, is it says that first bony structure to be eroded by cholestoma. That is the first bony structure. This is first bony structure that is eroded by cholestoma is scutum. So here we covered two questions. The second question is first bony spur but bony structure that is eroded by cholestoma is scutum, and lateral wall of attic is also known as scutum. It is a sharp bony spur which is formed by superior wall of external auditory canal and the lateral wall of tympanic cavity. Now coming on to the fourth question, which says appreciation of sound occur in. So appreciation of sound occur in transverse temporal gyrus. This is a very, very important question we have to keep in mind. The appreciation of sound occur in transverse temporal gyrus. Okay. Next question, that question number 5. It says that trapezoid body is associated with. So trapezoid body is associated with auditory pathway. So how trapezoid body is associated with auditory pathway? Trapezoid body is that part of the auditory pathway where some of the axons which are coming from the cochlear nucleus decussates to the other side. So, some of the axons which are coming from the cochlear nucleus, okay, we have to keep in mind, decussates to the other side. Before traveling to the superior olivary nucleus. Before they travel to the superior olivary nucleus, they decussates to the other side. That part of the auditory pathway is known as trapezoid body. trapezoid body is said believed to be associated with our localization of sound. So here comes the second question. The second question, which is commonly asked in association with trapezoid body, is localization of sound is associated with trapezoid body. Trapezoid body is the part of auditory pathway where the axons from the cochlear nucleus decussate to the opposite side before traveling to the superior olivary nucleus. Coming on to the question number 6. Question number 6 says primary receptor cell of hearing are the hair cells. This is most commonly asked one-liner, so we have to keep in mind that is primary receptor cell of hearing is hair cell. Okay. Narrowest part of middle ear. Middle ear has 3 parts: epitympanum, mesotympanum and hypotympanum. So the narrowest part of the 3 is the mesotympanum, is the narrowest part of the middle ear. We have to keep this thing in mind. Question number 8 says Prussic space is situated in which part of the middle ear? So Prussic space is situated in the epitympanum part of the middle ear. So what actually Prussic space is? Prussic space is the subcomponent, we can say subcompartment of the lateral epitympanum. Subcompartment of lateral epitympanic space, and extend from scutum to umbo. It extends from scutum to umbo. Now, question number 9 says the distance of promontory from tympanic membrane. So, this we have to keep in mind because it is repeatedly asked. The distance of tympanic membrane distance of promontory from tympanic membrane is 2 mm. That is 2 millimeter. Promontory to tympanic membrane. Spine of Henle. Spine of Henle is landmark for mastoid. Is used in mastoid surgery as a landmark for the localization of mastoid. That is spine of Henle. This is the one of the most consistent landmark, bony landmark for the surgery in mastoid surgery. So today we conclude with this part 5 of our most important one-liners in MCQ. Hope you like this part. Stay tuned for more parts which are in the row. If you like this video, kindly subscribe and share. Thank you.